Luke here, president of Tailor'd Insurance. It's 2026, and just want to make a new video about something that might be able to help you guys out for this year's upcoming renewal. What I want to talk about is something we're going to call them direct versus indirect trucking insurance companies. We seem to get, especially on the newer trucker side, a lot of them don't understand the difference in these direct and indirect insurance companies or how they work, or they feel maybe that someone's trying to pull a fast one or be misleading, which very well could be the case if you don't properly understand this. So if you do understand this, then you'll be able to identify whether this is legitimate insurance that's good, or whether it's some substandard insurance policy they're trying to sell you. So to start off, we're going to talk about direct carriers. Direct carriers are those that, and I'm calling them carriers because that's what we call them internally in insurance. I mean insurance companies. Those direct carriers, think about a company that you pay your monthly bill to that company, like on your bank statement when you pay them, it shows that company's name as who you paid. And, they have an online payment option, maybe an automatic payment option. They do all their own billing. They offer their own billing, okay? There are several of those out there, such as Progressive. There's a few others, right? As agents, we love to write with direct carriers because they handle all the billing. They take on all the liability for the billing. So whenever we run payments, if your payment fails, the money is owed to that insurance company. It's great for us as agents. That's how a direct carrier works, okay? The other one is indirect carriers. So indirect carriers would be insurance companies where they don't have their own in-house billing, where they'll do monthly payments and automatic payments, all that. They expect the premium to be paid in full. So whenever the policy is bound, the day it's bound, the policy is expected, then or within, usually you have up to say 30 days for that invoice to be paid to the insurance company. So that's where outside financing comes in. If you've ever heard of anything called premium financing, that's what that is. This outside financing, how it works is, us as agents, when we get a quote from an insurance company such as, let's say, Incline Casualty, Stonewood, unless you're gonna pull out $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 plus, sometimes a lot more than that, you're probably gonna want to pay a down payment with monthly payments. Whenever that happens, we go to our premium finance company, which the one we use is called Ascend Premium Finance. We have a platform where we're able to key in the information, find out what your down payment and monthly payment you're eligible for potentially, and then we can, provide those payment options. It's really convenient for us to be able to do that because it helps you to not have to pay in full. You might ask, why would I want to go with an indirect carrier versus a direct carrier? Why wouldn't I just want to go with somebody that I can always pay directly to that company? Well, yeah, obviously that would be, even as agents, I even said it, we prefer that, right? The reason why you wouldn't go with just a direct carrier is because of price. These indirect carriers, don't get them confused with substandard insurance companies like retention groups or things like that. I'm talking they're A-rated insurance companies, so they're AM Best. That's kind of insurance companies' report card. It's how often they pay out claims. They're rated by AM Best. All these insurance companies I'm referring to are A-rated or higher. We only write through A-rated or higher companies. We don't write any B-rated or C-rated insurance companies or any non-rated insurance companies. We don't do anything like that. These indirect insurance companies, a lot of times they have better pricing because they don't have all the internal overhead for their billing team and their collections team, or they don't have to deal with near as much as far as overhead internally. And also, if you haven't noticed, you've probably never seen a commercial for Incline Casualty or Stonewood. So a lot of these companies, they don't spend all that extra money. There's cost savings there. A lot of times they're going to be more competitive on price. Not always, but sometimes they are. Whenever, we're shopping you, and say you're currently with Progressive, right? And your Progressive renewal doubles. Well, it's like, we may want to go to these indirect markets and see what kind of numbers they offer. Now, there's pros and cons to everything, right? So I could make a whole nother video of, why you would want to go with indirect companies and why you wouldn't want to go with indirect companies. Or is an indirect company the best fit for you? A lot of times that answer is no. If you're someone that makes a ton of changes and you need things done really quickly and confirmation, actual policy documents immediately, direct carriers are going to be your best option because we're not going to wait any longer than most likely 24 hours for your documents, or next business day, midnight tonight, the next morning for us to be able to print your new documents or download your new documents. With indirect companies, we're sending the request to an underwriter. It gets processed in the order that it was received. It could be same day or it could be weeks from now for something simple. Indirect carriers may not be the best option, but when it comes to cost savings, they may be. So if you're a company that is established, not making many driver or vehicle changes, you just need coverage, good coverage, indirect carrier may be a great option for you. It doesn't mean you can't make any changes throughout the policy period, but if you're making changes every single week or several times a month, you might get a little frustrated when these companies could potentially put you behind on something you're trying to get done. That's kind of, an explanation on the difference between direct and indirect. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be making some more videos for you here soon. Thank you.